Hello and welcome again to the Writer Review. This is Eric Curut Writer, and this week we're going to be taking a look back at the 2007 movie titled Gone Baby Gone. Now, Gone Baby Gone is a crime drama that runs for an hour and 52 minutes long. It is the directorial debut of Ben Affleck, and it was produced by Sean Bailey, Alan Ladd Jr., and Danton Risner. The script was done by Ben Affleck and Aaron Stockard, and it is based on the novel Gone Baby Gone by Dennis Lehane. The score was done by Harry Gregson Williams, the cinematography by John Toll, and the editing was done by William Goldenberg. And the stars of the movie are his brother Casey Affleck, Michelle Monaghan, veteran performers like Morgan Freeman and Ed Harris are also in this movie. Academy Award winning actress Amy Ryan is there. She was actually nominated for a Best Supporting Actress role in this movie. Their stars there include Madeline O'Brien, Amy Madigan, and Titus Welliver. Also, John Ashton, he was in this movie too. You may have remembered him as Sergeant Taggart from the Beverly Hills Cop movies. Even though prior to Gone Baby Gone, Ben Affleck has turned in some impressive performances like Hollywoodland and Changing Lanes, still the mass had never fully warmed up to him. While fellow comrade Matt Damon has branched out quite nicely in the Bourne series and the Ocean's 11 series amongst other films, Affleck has definitely lagged quite badly in poor films like Paycheck, just about to the point where he should just wave the flag to surrender. Even his relationship with Jennifer Lopez did not further enhance his acting career. In fact, it probably may have hindered it even worse. Now, Affleck decided it was time to give directing a whirl. And, I mean, what could go wrong? In fact, he made a smart career choice here. He had successfully adapted Dennis Lehane's novel about a child kidnapping to the big screen while not watering it down its drab mood and its scrupulous contradictions. This is the fourth installment involving a pair of Bostonian private eyes in hot pursuit. This adaptation not only conveys an intriguing story going for it, but the conflicts it has in store will likely have you draw up conclusions of your own. The tone of the story is carefully executed by Ben Affleck and his fellow scriptwriter Aaron Stockard through the mind of investigator Patrick Kenzie, played by Casey Affleck, growing up in the mean streets of Dorchester, where he's lived since childhood. He joins forces with his girlfriend and professional partner Angie Gennaro, played by Michelle Monaghan. Patrick is definitely quite resourceful at cracking crimes the cops tend to seem to neglect. When a young toddler named Amanda McCready, played by Madeline O'Brien, vanished without a trace, Patrick was somewhat reluctant to be involved in a media-saturated investigation. But when her concerned aunt and uncle, played by Amy Madigan and Titus Welliver, begs him to this investigation, he finally accepts. In the investigation, Patrick and Angie link clues that leads to Amanda's inebriated deadbeat mother, Helene, played by an amazing Amy Ryan. She really just knocked it out of the ballpark here. The investigation starts to easily piece together. By an hour into this movie, we are led to believe that the plot has unfolded, but then something takes a turn in a contrasting direction. Patrick believes that these clues are not all that what they seem to be, so he goes into more further investigation. Filmed in the tough and gritty streets and bars of Boston, Massachusetts, everything about Boston comes to life here, making the authenticity quite sublime. Every detail, even from the accents, the the mannerisms, I mean everything about it is pure Boston. I mean, Casey Affleck, of course, is from the Massachusetts area, so it's just quite apropos that he should be in this movie because of his strong Boston accent. Many people might have think that's over the top, but if you check imdb.com, you'll notice that he is from Massachusetts. And yes, Bostonians do speak that way, maybe in certain areas of the Massachusetts area. So, if anybody wants to condemn Casey Affleck that his accent is too contrived and unbelievable, well, you guys are just blowing out steam to those who tend to contradict. The gratitude for that goes to Braveheart cinematographer John Toll for capturing the landscapes and the very unsettling feel of a noir film that's a bow out of respect to the ones from the 1950s. And guess what? And back in the 50s, there were a lot of noir films. I mean, it kind of like, in a way, pays an homage to it. I mean, you get to feel the tensity and the paranoia that comes with it. And we also try to grow upon the characters. The characters are easy to grow upon to. Whether their moral decencies leaves much to be desired, and their motives can somewhat be stuck into a dilemma. The moral dilemmas tend to sometimes often be questionable, but it also adds to the tensity and the fear that seems to come with a movie of this magnitude. So, I think that was actually handled quite well. And I think Ben Affleck, I gotta give hands off to him. He did an amazing job at directing. Who cares if Casey Affleck was cast in it? Of course, they're gonna scoff that he was just a product of nepotism. But you know what? That doesn't really matter because he was quite effective in his performance. And it was also good that they hired veteran performers like Morgan Freeman and Ed Harris to the film. And the twist in the end, although some people may probably think that this twist at the end was a ripoff, I tend to disagree. The conclusion actually kind of caught me off guard. I mean, who knew that it would end like the way it does here? But still, showing that, he's not below his brother's legacy, Casey Affleck exhibits that he was perfectly cast to play this pivotal role. Born in the suburban city of Falmouth, Massachusetts. Huh? Get it? Falmouth? Huh. Okay. Casey's accent was spot on. Okay, even though he has kind of a boyish visage and quite a disturbing demeanor, his foul-mouthed, perpetually angry expressions add significance to this ultra violent film, and at times they might even surprisingly catch people off guard. You may think that this guy's got, an innocent face, like, he's not likely gonna swear. He probably has more moral decency than most of the characters in this movie. But yes, the swearing is quite obvious in this movie. There's a lot of foul language from a guy from Falmouth, Massachusetts. Okay, I know I'm pulling jokes off of that, but people should just learn to lighten up. Wouldn't it be obvious to hire an actor from Massachusetts to play a tough as rocks Bostonian police officer? or private investigator? Of course. It's obvious. And his accent makes it all the more sublime. And even though Michelle Monaghan's performance is not well structured as Casey Affleck's, and her character is not as developed, she still manages to release emotions through those pretty eyes of hers, which was never intended for the script, let alone the novel. And yes, I also want to give hats off to Ed Harris and Morgan Freeman for being veteran performers to be in this movie. But the real scene stealer in this movie, definitely hats off goes to Amy Ryan. She really knocked it off, and I really think she truly deserved her supporting actress Oscar nomination. I don't think she got it. She was only just nominated, but her performance was really believable. I mean, she just blended in with the people from the ragtag section of Massachusetts, which is Dorchester. And I think she really, really knocked it out of the park faster than David Ortiz could. I know I'm throwing in Boston jokes, but you get my drift. And sure, the motives within the characters are not at times decipherable, and many people think that for a movie of this magnitude, the plot should be, by the lines and simplistic. But I think Ben Affleck caught us off guard by making this movie uh, something for a person to think about. This is a thinking person's movie, not just some mindless mystery film where all the clues and the evidence are like right there in front of you. No, and it doesn't have to be that way either. Gone Baby Gone relishes more on asking the viewers not entirely what is the right thing to do, but more towards if we exactly know what the right thing to do is. And I think Ben Affleck really did prove that quite well. If I was to give this movie a scale out of 10, it definitely deserves an 8. Hats off to Ben Affleck. I hope he directs more movies, because it seems like he has the knack for direction. I mean, he could still continue to act in movies of his likings, but I just think that direction has become kind of something he's pretty good at. I hope to see more of him directing more movies. And I never really ever had too much of a problem with his acting either. He just appeared in movies that didn't sit well with the fans. I think sometimes the media should just learn to lighten up on Ben. Give him a chance. He'll pull through. How many second or third or fourth chances or more did people ever get? Ben Affleck deserves to be in the acting community or in the film community. And people should not just, judge others. And I guess that's something for everybody to think about. Well, I guess this ends my writer review. Thank you all for listening in. If you would like to subscribe to my channel, please feel free to do so. If you wish to leave a comment, go right ahead. Remember, be kind, be courteous, don't be rude. And I will be back again with another movie review. So until next time, this is Eric Red Writer saying, keep watching those movies. And I will see you around. Goodbye.